Greetings, BAM Warriors. Greetings. Greg is here. Where are you? I'm up at the ranch. Been a beautiful day of life. Connected with a lot of people today. And clearly, there was someone else I needed to connect with. And that was you. Yes, you. You matter. I appreciate the community of beautiful souls all over the planet that have been showing up, listening to this message, responding. Uh-oh. A lot of responders. There's been a lot of responders lately. A lot of responders. What are people responding to? Uh-oh. Volume 1, Volume 2. The results kill excuses. 1% better everyday journal. Are you somebody that's responded, or are you still waiting? You're still thinking. You're still contemplating. Maybe, just maybe, I can sweeten the pot just that much more. I was recently talking to someone that is an incredible supporter of Results Kill Excuses, Adam. He's on here all the time. We were having a chat, and he was talking about how he's going through. I think he's almost finished. Right now, he should be finishing today, tomorrow. And he's already ordered his volume 2. But he was thinking about the importance of keeping the receipts. I talk about the receipts all the time as well. And he was talking about getting a stamp. And I had the idea, I was like, what if we could do like little stickers? And so we got the stickers. You could have the stickers, right? A whole sheet of stickers. What does that say? Proof, right? Proof of personal development. Results kill excuses. There's your receipt. A full sheet, 48 stickers for every order of a 1% better everyday journal. Now, why does that matter? Because again, the whole thing, one of the most important parts that's built into the 1% better everyday journal is tracking your monthly, weekly, and daily goals that I've called the things that matter to you. It doesn't say goals. What's your weekly goals, monthly goals? We're not using goals. We're saying what matters, because the reason why I use what matters is because when it comes to goals, a lot of people get overwhelmed by the goals, right? This is truth. This is true. I'm going to show you the screen right here. So right here, it says next 4 weeks. So this would be your monthly goals. This is literally page 1. After you do this is volume 1. So you're going to write down your top 3 non-negotiable priorities. I don't use goal in here at all. And the reason for that is because when you say something that matters to you, if you're a fan, if you have a favorite team, that matters to you. If you have hobbies or different interests, it matters to you. Exercise matters to me. Eating healthy matters to me. Getting on here to connect and help other people along their journeys, this thing called life, matters to me. And so you can put it here, your top 3 goals for the next 4 weeks. There's also a quick prompt here that a lot of people might overlook. That's like, take a few moments to visualize each of these getting done. So you put something down and then you start visualizing it. Just quick, right? Something that people have asked me about is, why are there silhouettes of frogs on there? There's a book that's called Eat the Frog. And the premise of the book is that each and every day you should have some intentional activities that matter to you. And the book goes on to elaborate about how important it is for you to eat biggest, fattest, ugliest frog, like the biggest thing that is challenging you for that day, you should prioritize that as your top priority. So that's sort of a little reference to that book. But you also have this make it happen. These are little check boxes that you should come back. And if you fast forward to the end of the month, it says there's a prompt that redirects you to say, hey, what did you write down for the month? And it's an opportunity for you to reflect. So if I zoomed forward at the end of the month, let's see, where are we at? So if we fast forward week 3 recap, so you have weekly recaps, which are important as well. But when you get here to the end of the month, week 4, reflections from last week, and then you also have reflections from last month. This is what said, I think that I think the 1% Better Everyday Journal is such a masterpiece in terms of everything that it has in it. You really have to interact with it to figure out all of the gold that exists in there. Because when you finish right here, right, you got the reflections from last month. What did you do good? What could you have done better? It says, take a look back at your month 1 matters worksheet. So this is activating self-accountability. This is activating your ability to have those receipts. And yet significant, memorable personal wins during month 1 and some self-encouragement. And that's what this whole journey takes. It takes, if you can't do this for you, no one's going to do it for you. And yet look how simple this is made, right? It's fun, it's easy. So you have your month right here, and then you have week 1. You're also putting some goals for week 1. How will I hold myself accountable to these personal priorities for the week? This is where you have an opportunity to really challenge yourself. And obviously in your daily thing, you're going to start doing some reflections. And then you have literally these same protocols of focus on what really matters today. What are your top 3 priorities? And when you hit a home run, guess what? If I was you, I'd get one of these stickers, one of the receipts, right? If something that you're really proud of that you want to highlight, and I would slap that on there. You wouldn't have to check it. You could slap it on here, right? It can show up anywhere, but it makes it more fun. And that's what this should be. A lot of you are resistant to things like this because it feels like work. It feels like going back to school, and it's like, it's not going back to school. It's waking up to the fact that whether you want to accept it or not, this life is a classroom. It's full of lessons every single day. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I've learned the most hardest lessons of my life were not kindergarten through 12th grade, and even my 2-year degree through my master's degree. Life has taught me the hardest effing lessons ever. Life. And if you're honest with yourself, you would probably have a hard time disagreeing with that fact. And yet, the reason why having receipts for your own personal success, your own personal growth, your own personal development, your own personal improvement, this is about you and how you're improving your life. And for you to celebrate that, that's what's also built into definitely volume 1 of the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal. I give a whole class on how to not do like cheat days, cheat meals, cheat this. Well, we don't need a cheat. There's no cheat codes here. There's no shortcuts. It's just one foot in front of the other, little by little, every single day, staying locked in, staying consistent. and celebrating those wins along the way. But the shift, and there's a whole class on this, on how to celebrate your victories without sabotaging your momentum. Do you know what I'm talking about? We don't need to do cheat days and cheat these and cheat those. You need to stay locked in. And so I help to elevate and expand your thinking in terms of when you do have a win, when you have locked in and had some discipline, then guess what? You can go back, celebrate the win, but then I encourage people to do something new, right? It's like, try something new. Go either do a self-care day, get a massage, go soak in some hot springs or some hot water, go to a spa. Maybe if you're into creative and learning more about your creativity, maybe you could sign up for some kind of an art class at like a local community college, or do one of I was looking at making a trip up to Denver and looking at different classes that they have for creative arts, and there's all kinds of offerings. But doing something like that, or even going to like a group fitness class, like something you aren't used to reward yourself in a positive way, in a way that doesn't sabotage your momentum and your traction, versus there's never accidents when it comes to the alignments, right? And yet a lot of us, we think about these things, but then there's not a lot of accountability, self-accountability, actually having receipts. We're just trying to keep track of everything in our heads. Like, if you don't have a journal routine, and journaling just seems like something painful or inconvenient, or you just don't want to sit there and write all day or whatever, like, we create all these obstacles. We want to make things challenging. We want to convince ourselves that it's a waste of our time, as if somehow sitting there watching things idly is a productive use of your time. Come on now. You got to start calling a spade a spade. You got to start looking at your life in with clear eyes and a clear mind, and really realizing how much you bullshit yourself. But when you start to keep track day to day, little by little, and that's what the 1% Better Everyday Journal Volume 1 and 2 does. Like, that's now 3 to 6 months of you every single day reflecting, right? Starting with positive affirmations, then doing some reflections from the previous day. What did you do good? What could you do better? And then locking back in and saying, here's what matters to me today. These are the 3 things I want to accomplish. Knowing that when you write it down, there's a deeper sense of accountability. Is that why you're scared? Is that why you're still waiting? Right? Is that why you're still waiting for something else to happen? A catastrophe, a fallout. It's like, it should never have to come to that. Why do we want it to come to that? Why did I want it to come to that? I don't understand it. It frustrates me that I let it get to that in my personal life. But I can tell you right now, I'm running the best deal out there in terms of getting locked in from now really through the new year, if you take me up on this deal, which is The Results Kill Excuses, Volume 1 and Volume 2, right? Doubling down on your growth, only $150. This is 6 months. These 2 journals right here. Volume 1 and Volume 2. Getting locked in. You get the pens, you get the stickers, And now we got the proof of personal growth. We got the receipt stickers. But this is probably the most incredible opportunity. All you got to do is go to resultskillexcuses.com, click in the shop, click on printed products. And when you get in there and you add it to your cart, just click in 6 month and you will get this discount, $150. That's for both volumes. That's 6 months. And what is it? It's just 6 months of you? No. Included in that is over 100 coaching lesson videos from me to you, where I'm not just blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of encouragement in there because I know that this path can be challenging. I know that resistance shows up. And yet that's why I continue to get on here, because I believe in this process. Volume 2. So volume 1 covers from self-sabotage to self-mastery. There's 5 phases. Volume 2 is going deeper with self-improvement, self-awareness, and then starting to redefine yourself into a higher version of yourself. That's the major shift that happened. It's not carbon copy, for sure, for sure. And I think a lot of people would think that, but there's actually going to be 4 volumes in total. And I've already mapped out the progression of how each one shifts. And they're small tweaks, but it's enough that it creates a habit. We need habits. We need redundancy, but it's literally not the exact same thing across the board. The what matters, the reflection, the daily reflection, that is absolutely the same. But your prompts and your 3 phases there's a lot of differences when it comes to that. That's a great question. Thanks for asking that. So when it comes to, I'll show you the difference. Here's volume 1. You got 5 phases of personal growth. Phase 1 is breaking through self-sabotaging patterns. Phase 2, building a solid foundation for self-improvement. Phase 3, stepping into self-development. Phase 4, cultivating self-awareness. And final phase 5, reaching self-mastery. There's a breakdown here. Each of them has a goal. And then so another difference that you'll see is on here. I've changed from I feel and I am worthy. There's some changes in here to also in the affirmations page. You go from I am on volume 1 to I feel. So instead of saying I am healthy, I am rich, I am abundant, I'm unstoppable, you say I feel these things. And that's where there's some real big power. And so here's, I think this is volume 2. Yep, this is volume 2. So in volume 2, you got 3 phases, and it's about deepening self-improvement, deepening your self-acceptance, self-awareness, and then redefining yourself. And so then in that you have, I see myself as the best. And then these affirmations every day are also different from volume 1. And then, as I said, you have I feels, the I feel affirmations in there. And then this time we finish up with phase 3 about redefining who you are, giving yourself permission to show up as a whole new version of yourself. That's volume 2 versus volume 1. This is literally 6 months. This gets you through the new year. If you were to lock in, this gets you through the new year. And the best thing about it, well, it's all good, right? The people that are truly ready for that transformation, instead of making excuses, we now got the receipts, these stickers. So you order today. It's not even on the website yet, but if you order, and there's been a lot of orders coming through, you're going to get, I think it's about 48 of these Results Kill Excuses, proof of personal development receipts. These are little stickers that you can stick in the book to really track and celebrate yourself. I mean, there's nothing better than when you're working towards something and you're putting in the work. I mean, it's incredible. And yet, when are you going to jump on the 1% better every day bandwagon, the lifestyle? When are you going to be somebody that says, okay, I can't figure it all out anymore? My head is overwhelmed. My brain is it's cooked. I need to get some of the stuff out of my head, get it on paper. And this is exactly what the 1% better everyday journals designed to help you do. To sort through life's challenges and all the mental pressure that you have in your head, right? To start reprogramming your negative thinking into positive, having a positive mental attitude from the jump every day, activating your self accountability, allowing you to now start to create your own receipts. And if you're somebody that every day you keep missing the mark on what you write down as in terms of something that matters to you, right? You have to be very measurable. And that's why it's like it takes some practice, right? It's okay to fail here. You just can't quit. You got to keep getting back up. But when you look at like this daily sheet, focus on what really matters today. Top 3 non-negotiable priorities. Every day you're writing down 3 things that matter. Like, what are your priorities? Is health a priority? Is exercise a priority? Is, starting a business or continuing something, a new project that you're wanting to work towards? Is it challenging yourself to go ask somebody out on a date or to, make an investment? What is it? What matters to you? And these are things that we're so caught up in all the bullshit that's going on in this world, right? And that's what it is, right? It's just bullshit. I mean, a lot of people are obviously going through some very challenging times, but who's not? We all have our level of challenge. And unless you're going to go out there and not just make noise, but go make a difference, then the best thing for you to be doing right now isn't being overwhelmed by the news. It's for you to say, you know what? I'm going to send my energy to the one place that you have unwavering control over. And that's yourself, your life. You can choose to sit there and be overwhelmed, be stressed out, or you can choose to start having a whole nother approach to your life, to be seeing things in a different color, a different light, a different perspective. It's as simple as saying, can you imagine the color red right now? And y'all can imagine what red looks like to you. And if you can now imagine the color green, and if you can imagine the color green, so you were able to just imagine 2 different things, contrasting colors, red, green. What's the difference between you having negative thoughts? I'm not good enough. I suck. I'm not lucky. I don't have time. I can't do this. I can't do that. What's the difference between you checking those thoughts and just imagine those being the red thoughts, and then now having green thoughts where it's like, I can give this a try. I'm willing to start something new. I believe that if it worked for this person or that person, maybe it'll work for me. This is the shift. Taking back the power taking back power over your thoughts and over your mind. Because right now, if you're just sitting there idly waiting for things to change, it's not going to change until you literally step up. Yeah, I appreciate that. Tectonic Traveler. I like that name. You got to make the choice. And when you don't make a choice, you're basically saying that you're okay settling with the life that you have. And if that's true, right? If that's true, that's a damn shame, to be honest with you. I don't even like when I try and tell you, hey, like, then don't complain. You're going to still complain. We're just wired like that. Even if we're settling and things are uncomfortable, we're even more, if you're settling, you're even more apt to complain because you're literally choosing suffering over choosing to, to, to challenge yourself, to be courageous, and to truly go and fucking get the life you want. Make it happen, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the challenges that you're experiencing right now on this planet. Whatever you're challenged with, I guarantee you, with the right mindset and maybe even coaching, maybe even the guidance of something like the 1% Better Everyday Journal, maybe it's joining the Breath of Life Healing Circle. I guarantee you that no matter how big your challenge is, you start hanging out at closer proximity to me, my mindset, and the other people that are actually locking into this process, you're going to start to elevate. You're going to start to shift your negative thinking, your self-doubt, and you're going to start embracing challenge a little more each and every day. And that's all it takes. It's saying today, what are 3 little things that I can do today that if I do these things, it's going to make me a better version tomorrow? Just this much. Not total fucking transformation. You're not going to experience total transformation overnight. Right? There's a lot of those people out there that promise you shit like that. I can promise you and guarantee you that if you lock in for 91 days, just do the 1% Better Everyday Journal Volume 1, just that alone, you're going to have some traction, and you're definitely going to have, if out of 91 days, you give it your best, I can guarantee you that you're going to at least have 45 plus days of some personal wins. Half of your days, and you're going to have receipts for that. Am I telling you that if you show up every day for 91 days, to me, that's a win. That's an absolute huge, huge win for you. And you will not be the same. That is literally the length of the summer. But now we have volume 2 that's out. And that gets you through the beginning of 2026. And maybe it feels like, man, 2025 just started. No, we're over halfway down. We're done. We're already halfway. We're on the downhill right now. Summer's going to be done in a flash. Then we're back into fall, holidays, and that's where people wreck themselves. But are you willing to lock in now for the summer so that when the fall and the winter comes, you have momentum on your side? You're starting to cultivate self-accountability and even the big D word, right? Some discipline. Because you're starting to see the changes in your life. Starting to see the changes in your life. What's up, my brother? I got something really special here already. I already put you on blast. Right? Adam's going to work himself into the journal somehow. Looky. We got proof of personal development, receipt stickers. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some of these heading your way. Like we say down here in New Mexico, mañana. En la mañana. I'm excited about them receipts, man. You inspired that, brother. You inspired the receipts by your commitment and your dedication to really just locking in on your journey, bro, and utilizing these tools. And so many other people are going to benefit from that. And it's been very encouraging. A lot of people are jumping on the band on the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Right? Movement. It's a movement. It's an opportunity for you to fucking take your power back. Stop with the negative victimization of your life and say, you know what? This shit's on me. I got this. And is it going to be fucking a cakewalk? No. Y'all hear me every time. If it was easy, it wouldn't be fucking worth it. Because when it's easy, you take it for granted. Just like when it's free, just when it's handed to you. You don't cherish it. And it's like we have lost that level of work ethic. Everybody's fucking so lazy right now. If you could at least be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm a lazy motherfucker. That alone would really shift your energy because you could be honest with yourself. But when you're saying, oh, I'm trying, or you want to blame the government or blame this or blame that for why your life is so shitty, it's like, man, just admit you are choosing comfort, complacency, apathy, and being a lazy motherfucker versus what? Taking some action, owning your life. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. We're gonna be we're shooting all kinds of stuff up there to Canada, man. I'm gonna have to get my ass up there somehow. I'm gonna buy a moose costume. What do you think, man? Should I get a moose costume, or what are the like the red coat, like fucking cops, the sentries? I need to get one of those costumes. Or do you think I could get over if I wore a Yeti costume? Go to one of those like towns somewhere in the middle where it's literally just a road. If I wear a Yeti costume, you think I could get through, man? What happened? What do they do? What do they do to illegal Americans in Canada? How do the Canadians treat illegal Americans? Yeah, yeah. I got a big heart for everyone that's up in the north. There's been a lot of support out of Canada, man. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it, man. They better not tar and feather my ass. Throw me back. But again, the receipts, right? How else are you keeping receipts? Are you just getting like a little scrap piece of paper, trying to write down, look, I did something cool today? Most of y'all don't even acknowledge it. I can tell you that probably from year 1 to probably about year 7, I'm going to say probably year 1 to year 7 of therapy. Okay, I hope you heard that. From year 1 to year 7 of therapy, I had probably 10 different therapists during that 7-year period. And every single one of them tried to convince me, tried to encourage me to really stop and acknowledge the good things because I was so negatively wired, man. I was so beat up, carrying around so much guilt, so much shame, regret, anger. And I used to be somebody that when I would talk to the you could meet me at the airport, huh? I'm just thinking of running across there's one place I've seen where it's like just a street, man, where you just go kind of walk into the one from one neighborhood to the next, but you happen to be crossing a international border. I'm just gonna walk out there, man. Shit. Year 1 to 7, 7 years of therapy until I finally had a breakthrough where I could genuinely start acknowledging the good things in my life. Like things that I could be grateful for. Because I was just carrying around so much freaking grief, man. So much anger, so much frustration. Oh, yeah, you've been arrested there. Shoot. I don't know. I gotta figure out the whole thing. I want to go to Banff. Banff. The Banff Warrior wants to go to Banff. I'm ready. I was super close, but they had the border shut down when I was up at Glacier. I felt so close to it. I was ready to rock, but that shit was shut the hell down. 7 years. How long has it been since you were able to give yourself some credit, some kudos, some props that you're actually doing some good things in life? That your life isn't just meaningless. You're not just worthless. You're not just, you know, past your prime and it's too late. That you like if you're someone that is really down on yourself, that you could be really hard on yourself. Yeah, Banff is incredible, man. Just all the pictures. That's my kind of vibe for sure. Anything with big, huge mountains that pierce the sky and lakes and trails and outdoors galore. That's my spot. But if you're somebody that's caught up on being really negative on yourself, like what is it? How do you change that? What are you gonna do to change it? Or are you just gonna stay stuck forever and ever and ever and ever and ever more? Right. I was there. I thought I wasn't even sure. This is even coming out of my rock bottom moment 13 years ago. Coming out of that, domestic, all that fucking crazy shit. And thinking, I'm done, man. I'm cooked. I'm toast. I done fucked up, and that shit's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And clearly, the other thoughts are the shit that pops up too, right? You think about, man, I should just delete myself. What's the point? And yet, it takes a lot of courage to ask for help. It takes a lot of courage to try something new. And once you get into that mindset where you're at least open to trying some new things, I've never regretted trying new things. I just haven't. Because even if it's not like a spectacular thing that you experience by doing something new, it's not about the experiences per se. It's about the attitude, the energy. It's, do you have closed energy where you're closed off? You're playing it safe. You don't want to try new things. You only want to do the things that you know, and then you're still wanting something to change, but it's not until you open up your energy and say, I'm willing to try new fucking things. And when you start trying new things, guess what? That's when you have new experiences that start to give you new opportunities, and it starts to expand your mind, expand your existence. And in that is really a fertile ground to start healing, releasing things, trying new things, even more new things. It becomes contagious. You're like, I'm willing to try whatever. I mean, not like some crazy dumb shit, but maybe sometimes I am willing to do some crazy dumb shit. I don't know. Right? Better to at least try things than to never try. To just act like you're a know-it-all, or you just got to always be playing it safe. What is the point of your existence if you only do the things you've always done? It's like there's very few things that I wouldn't eat. I mean, there is like some things, but it's more of nutritional things. But I remember just being as a kid and even as a parent, and then my kids would eat just, if I made it, my kids used to eat it. Like there was not I know some parents that are literally like fucking restaurants for their kids because their kids are so picky and they're so weak that, oh, well, what do you want? I don't want that. Well, what the fuck do you want? Well, I need this and that. And it's like fucking a short order cook at their house. It's like, man, I don't run like that. I'm a parent, man. If I make it, you eat it, or you're hungry. But that's old school, right? That's old school shit. That's like how it should be, right? We give kids. We all want to be our best. Like a lot of people want to be their kids' best friends, and kids need stability. Kids need authority, healthy authority, not abusive shit. They need a solid parental authority so that they don't have to feel the pressure of making every decision. And yet, how many kids that were super picky, very demanding, very needy, and that there's wounding in that, and I get that, but you're now that as an adult. You're an adult, and you're still playing out those characteristics. And a lot of that is hard. That's a hard revelation for a lot of people to have. Y'all think y'all are delulu about your true nature. Because why? Because you wear a lot of masks, right? You're wearing different masks in different groups with different people. Then oftentimes you've kind of lost who you even are as you move about the earth, as you go about doing things. And that's why it's so important to, like, at least just hear the message. Like, are you willing? Yeah, I've jumped. I loved it, man. I love skydiving. It's literally flying. The best place to go skydiving in Colorado is in Canyon City, between Pueblo and Salida. Fucking incredible, man. There's a skydive place out there. You're like got all the big mountains all around, Pikes Peak and shit. It's pretty powerful. Anytime you try something new, and especially if you're facing a fear, like if you have a fear of heights, yeah, man, go do some damn skydiving, go bungee jump, go jump off one of these swings that they have in like the Grand Canyon or Moab or something. You know, if you're afraid of water, go fucking swimming in a lake or the ocean, right? If you're afraid of the dark, right? Go camping in the forest and go for a little walk, get yourself a headlamp with a red light. With a red light. And build some confidence. Right? People have like, the sad thing is, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I asked the question I probably shouldn't have asked. But I asked this person, "Are you political?" And then, oh man, oh no, the whole conversation shifted. The whole entire conversation shifted because if people are really, really locked in and really, really focused on politics and then all the social issues that are around it and all the mudslinging and trying to pretend like one side is better than the other, right? Fuck. Fuck, man. I'm glad I asked that question, and I'm glad that I could have a conversation, because I'm apolitical now. I used to be a political junkie, but I'm not. I no longer see people for who we try and peg them as, right? What the media says they are, what society says they are. That's all fear-based. And it's really sad that there's millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of people right now that are totally outraged, totally filled with fear, hatred, anger, even like murderous energy, where their own justification of saying, we want to protect somebody or some cause, that they would justify their hate, their hatred leading to somebody else dying. Like, that's never justified. You cannot stand in the light and wish death upon anyone else on this planet for any reason. There's no reason. And it's sad when people are that emotionally dysregulated and even a little programmed and somewhat propagandized, is what I would probably say. And it's so easy nowadays to just believe what you hear, to be tone deaf, to not be objective, to not step back, to look in the mirror, because this other stuff is just, it's all over. And I don't tolerate it. Like, if somebody is political, no matter what side it is, I just don't follow that. That can't be. I don't have time for that energy. And the sad thing is that the people that are so filled with hatred and fear right now, they're sending that energy to the powers that be, and they think that that's somehow going to make a difference, and it doesn't. It empowers them. Where your focus goes is where your energy flows. And I think Keith on here, he talks a lot about energy harvesting. And people, y'all don't realize that. Y'all don't realize that your energy is actually being robbed from you, because your energy is very powerful. And when I say it's your energy, it's your focus. And the number one example of how powerful your energy is, this is not a coincidence. I'm pretty sure every person on here has experienced this, where you're driving and someone is walking on the sidewalk with their back towards you, and you're driving and you look at them and you zap them. You don't realize that that's what you're doing. Most of y'all don't realize. You just think, but they turn and they look right at you. And then I think most people probably don't even register that that's exactly what just happened. Your energy and your focus went to them, and it's literally like a tap. Bink, bink, bink. And guess what they do? That's why they look right at you, because you literally energetically tap, tap, tap. You sent them your energy. It's a zap. And so if you don't think when you're sending your energy to a celebrity or sports, right, your energy is being taken from you. You're giving it away. Everyone's probably heard of guarding yourself against energy vampires, right? People that literally are just willing to drain you of your energy because they're just a toxic type personality. That just being around them, it just drains you because they're so negative. They're so caught up in bullshit. And maybe you're one of those people. Because there's a lot of people that are caught up in the bullshit. That you're so fearful and emotionally dysregulated right now because of events that are happening outside of yourself. And I love challenging people, because I know that when I walk down the street, nobody looks at me and says, oh, look at this humanitarian guy coming down the street. But I fucking guarantee you, man, that's probably one of my biggest attributes. And it's not because I'm willing to go and like make a bunch of noise and make signs and yell and scream at people and send hatred to everything. No, I've always been somebody that's willing to fucking see a problem and try and help with the solution. And even when I see a problem, I've always had a wherewithal and an objective mindset to try and look at the problem from every angle, not just my perspective, but look at it from every angle and try and come up with the most feasible solutions possible. And that's always given me a ton of joy. But I see all these people outraged, and it's like none of them would actually do something about it. Invite someone in, right? Start taking care of people, invite them into their home, let them stay with them. I've let homeless people live with me in the past, right? And been persecuted for doing that shit from like religious people, Christians. I've had Christians literally persecute me for letting a homeless guy live with me for like a few months. It's the funniest shit, man. When you actually start doing things that impact other people's lives in a positive way versus just making noise, complaining, right? Spewing hatred and anger and murderous thoughts as if somehow your views are correct, even though it doesn't even inspire. I heard this the other day about somebody that got kicked out of like the religious whatever. And it was because, they asked too many questions, and they were also action based, which is sad because even in even people that are super political junkies nowadays, right? They worship politics. Like political leaders in their eyes, the ones they support are like gods on both sides. They've become little g gods. They worship them, just like celebrities, just like athletes, right? We worship these people, and it never ever ever were we supposed to worship another person. Never ever ever ever. But we do. We idolize it. We worship them. It's like, and it's just not supposed to be that way. At the soul level, we're all equals. We're all equals here. And there's no need for you to worship another person, another soul, when you have whatever you see. Like I always say this, whatever you see in somebody, it exists inside of you. You just have to tap into that. You have to align yourself with it. And most of the time what it takes to align is it means you got a clean fucking house. And once you clean house, you'll start tracking some receipts, and you'll start moving in a positive direction. Or you're just going to keep listening to this shit and acting as if I'm just here to be entertained. I'm just here to listen. I'm just checking it out. I don't know. And it's like, yes, you fucking do. We've got the 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1, Volume 2, right? I'm running the most incredible sale between now and next Saturday, right? You got about one more week to max out. This is the launch of the Volume 2, 1% Better Everyday Journal. And someone had asked earlier, well, what's the difference? There's a big difference. I didn't just carbon copy. I didn't just put a 1 and a 2. I literally went page by page, and it's a continuation progression from Volume 1 to Volume 2. There is a method to what I present. It's not just put together haphazardly. It's literally intentional. It's very intentional, which is also what you experience when you start going through the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Is you actually start to live a life that is way more focused, way more intentional, daily, weekly, monthly, where you start tapping into your own level of self-accountability. And that deal that's out there right now is, I can't imagine anybody not hopping on that. Which it's right here. Double down on your growth. $150 for 6 months. 2 journals. Volume 1 and Volume 2. Over 100 videos of coaching. Right? Printed. You get My new favorite thing is the receipt stickers. And so you'll get one of these. It's not even added yet to every order. But in order to get the 150 deal, it ends next Saturday, June 21st, summer solstice, longest day of the year. All you got to do is type in discount code 6month. I mean, I've literally, for 6-month programs, I've spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I'm not quite even sure that it even comes close to what you could get out of this. It was inspiring. I don't regret it, but I know that the value of what this package offers you it's hard to compete with. It's hard to compete with without making like 5 to 6, no, 5, at least 5-digit investment, right? For 6 months of this kind of coaching, this kind of guidance. Powerful stuff. I mean, the time is now, really. There's a lot of, thank you to everyone that has hopped on this. There's going to be a lot of shipments going out tomorrow. I've been waiting to get I didn't want to send all of the people that are like the first to respond, right? The people that are like actually taking action. I just got these in a few hours ago. They got delivered, and I just, Adam, he inspired these. I designed them, but he inspired just the thought of like having like little stickers to put in your journal. I think it just makes it fun, right? It taps into that inner child, that play. This should be fun. Life should be fun, even if it's challenging. A lot of you are miserable. You're uptight. You're stressed out. You're taking everything so fucking serious, right? And it's like, and then you're wondering why you're stuck. It's like, dude, look at who you are. Look at who you are in the midst of your existence. It's like you need to tap into your inner child. You need to go do some things that are playful and fun, that don't require you to get wasted and high and check the fuck out, to literally just go have some youthful playfulness in life. It's like, and that's really the whole design concept behind the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Right? I taught 4th and 5th grade for 2 years, elementary, and it was like, it totally reminded me of how cool it was when we got worksheets. Like, to have a worksheet, like what most of you have a hard time seeing is like, you see this worksheet and it just looks so simple, but I literally created a worksheet out of what I would sit there. Like, if I had my other journal handy, I mean, here's how my other journal looks. I mean, if you're not this person, right? If you're not this person, I mean, that's how my journal looks, right? It's literally just writing, right? It's just writing. Boom, boom, boom. A full page right there. This is actually the same ingredients. The same ingredients is what's right here. But again, if a lot of you are kind of resistant to just free writing and putting down some positive thoughts and, Thanksgiving and doing some reflective work in what's going on in your life and things that you want to accomplish, like if you don't have that, this literally is like the fun, cool, easy way of not having to write out a page like this. And there's been many days that I sat there for hours because I just had like mental block. I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. I was just a little, off. But when you have something like this in front of you, it just guides you right through it. Just start filling in the stuff. I feel that I am the best, whatever you want, make it up. And then when you start every day with, I'm worthy to have good things happen to me today. Say that 3 times to yourself. Like that's a shift. I guarantee you that alone is a huge shift from who you show up as every single morning when you wake up and rise. I'm ready to accomplish what matters to me today. Well, what matters to you today? Well, you're about to write that in about 10 minutes. 3 things that matter to you. But you're already planting the seeds of telling yourself you're ready to accomplish that, which you're going to put down in a few minutes. And then just filling in gratitude jars. These are fun. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the birds. I'm grateful for my coffee. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the warm bed. Attitude of gratitude. And then I love that, again, when you actually write that you love stuff, right? I love my morning routine. I love, my partner. I love my car. I love my job. Love my house, whatever it is. The reflections, right? What'd you do good? What could you do better? That's being honest with yourself. It's having a clear perspective. And then just locking in what matters today. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat. But the second page that you get every day is this, the I am affirmations. In this cloud, I am healthy, I am strong, I am unstoppable. I am ready to face any challenge that comes my way. Right? I am infinite, whatever you want to write. And if you have a hard time thinking of these things, right? Mindfulness practices, number 1 is listening to positive affirmations. When you start listening to positive affirmations, you're going to have a lot more things. Even if you just copy down what someone is saying, I am affirmations, just search that. I am affirmations and just write down everything they say. And that will start to improve your mindset, guaranteed. Your optimism. There's nothing wrong with that. And then this is when you jump into the training, which is really a master class, right? 5 phases in volume 1. Volume 2, someone asked earlier, well, what the hell's the difference between volume 1 and volume 2? Did you just kind of do the same thing? It's like, no, the formatting is the same, but the content is not. So in volume 2, what you get is in volume 2, we're deepening, right? We're going into deepening self-improvement, deepening self-acceptance, and then redefining yourself. And so you actually start the redefining by filling in this crystal ball, right? You give yourself permission to just put any of these words inside of here that are personality shifts that you want to see in yourself. And as you go through this, you start to give yourself permission, right? To truly be something new, to be a different version of yourself, to show up in a whole new way. The 2.0 version, right? Writing down, you start identifying with your highest form, right? The higher self. And then you just start locking in again. But there's some differences. Before it was I feel, now it's I see myself as the best. Before, I forget what it said before, but now it's I am open to have great things happen to me today. I think it was I am ready. Now it's I'm open. And then it's I am accomplishing all that matters to me today. But everything else is the same except for here, we went from I am affirmations to now I feel. And then you jump into the curriculum, deepening self-improvement. And there's a lot to where even throughout the curriculum, if you have gone through volume 1 and you're in volume 2, there's a lot of reference pages where I say, hey, go back right here. Here's a perfect example right here. Review volume 1, day 27, right? So that you can go back and again, this is receipts. This is where you say, oh, fuck yeah. Let me slap one of these stickers on there. Look, I got receipts to show. And where do you think you gain your confidence from is when you actually realize you're holding yourself accountable. You're looking back and you're saying, oh shit, I see what's going on now. Yeah, that's an honest assessment, Adam. Thanks, man. I mean, there's Adam right there. The first few weeks, that was a hard one to say. Then it began to grow. I even cried a few times. I am worthy, right? I've been going through even volume 1 again, and it's like I'm probably gonna add 20 more videos to volume 1. Like, I'm going through a revision on it. I added the worksheets. That was another recommendation that Adam and someone else had mentioned, that, to add more sheets for just taking notes. And, again, not only am I living my personal life 1% better every day and trying to inspire you guys, it's like, even with these things, these are not put in stone. Like, when as more and more people interact with them, they're paying the way for you, for me to improve it. And I even ask for that feedback. I forget what day it is. Maybe it's like, is it like 50 or something, 70s? But I literally ask. It's a checkpoint where I'm like, all right, man, fuck, you made it this far, right? I need your help, right? Help me to help the person that's coming up next. I want to make this better, right? That's how transparent I am. That's how vulnerable I am. That's how much I give a shit about this product, these products, these resources. And I would love for you to take me up on the deal that's going on right now. There's nothing like it. And if you're willing to go through, right, the discomfort of trying something new and like sticking through it, just saying, I'm committed. I'm like, be honest. How challenging is it for you to commit to something new and see it through, come hell or high water? Most of you, I know that it's a challenge. But is that a reason to not try? No. No. Because even if you invest in it, receive it, get started, and then what? You fall off, right? I'm not wearing the shirt now, but one of the shirts I even have is, right, it's the keep going shirt. Get up, dust off, keep going, right? If you fall down, don't stay down. Get the fuck up, dust off, and keep going, little by little. Because if you're sitting there just idle, waiting, wishing, wanting, you can't have those days back. You can't have that time back. And you're acting as if fucking you have infinite time in this body, in this current experience, and you don't. It happens so fast. You have probably infinite lives to figure it out, to finally do the work. Maybe it'll be next life. Maybe it'll be 10 more. Maybe it'll be 100. Or maybe you hear this message right here, right now, and you say, you know what? He's right. I'm ready. Let me try. Uh-oh. What happens next? What happens next is you place a bet on yourself. You're investing in yourself. And anytime you invest time, money, resources into yourself, you're guaranteed a return on that investment. Guaranteed. If you don't half-ass it. If you half-ass it, you get a half-ass return. You go full throttle, you get locked in, you go all in, you win, the people around you win. It's a transformative process that you never regret. It's just kind of scary to get started, which is what Adam was probably expressing there. Yeah, the asking for help. And sometimes asking for help is even just, it's literally asking for help, but it's also seeing that this is something that can absolutely help you. It is do it yourself. It's a self-pace, self-accountability process, but yet I'm here, right? You could be, once you get locked in on the 1% Better Everyday Journal, all you got to do is start communicating, right? Jumping on the lives, interacting with the videos, getting on the app, putting in, being a part of that community, which is pretty sacred because even that app, it's its own app. We can't get canceled on there. And there is opportunity for us to build community within the app. The Results Kill Excuses app, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Just type in those 3 magic words if you haven't yet. And even we're talking about 1% better everyday journals, but even on the app, there's 5 courses it's called the first 5 self-discovery classes, right? And that's over a month. That's 5 weeks of really quality training, really quality reflective work. And some of it's like really just putting your foot down, right? You want to stop, break up with an addiction you have. That's a good place to go, man. Right? There's a lot of people, you're struggling with something in your life that you're codependent with and even addicted. And it's like you're tired of it. You're tired of that abusive relationship you have with something outside of yourself. If you want to reconsider it, you don't have to. I don't like force you to give it up. I encourage you, though. I encourage you to find the strength and give yourself a window, right? Create a little window. And if you want to see what that looks like, I can pull that up too. Right here. So for those of you that haven't gone on the app, all you got to do is type in results kill excuses to your Apple store or even the Google, right? Android. It's there. Just type in results kill excuses and it comes up. And in here we have, these are the first 5 courses. You got hurting people hurt themselves. These are free, Free. You could buy a worksheet, a workbook, but you don't have to, because I'm going to show you in a second. Hurting people hurt themselves first, right? These are 5 lesson course designed to free you of suppressed negative emotions. Breaking up with my addictions. Addiction can be a lot of things in this day and age, not just drugs and alcohol. Could be food, could be snacks, could be gaming, could be gambling, could be a lot of different things. It's a 5-lesson course designed to guide you through the cost of addiction. It doesn't say in there to demand that you stop. It's just going to guide you through the cost. What is your addiction costing you? What else is here? Yes, I'm holding myself back. Again, these are all free. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a second. Making over my relationships, 5-lesson course designed to improve relationships. Anybody want to improve the relationships they have in this world? A lot of fucking broken relationships out there. This would be a good place to start. And then finally, I've got 99 problems, right? Designed to solve real life problems. So my favorite is the addictions. But when you go into here, right, there's a whole breakdown of what's in there. But you got a lesson intro video, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an outro. It's a full course. You click on here, you watch the lesson intro. Why isn't it? And then once you get into like lesson 1, here's what you got. You got an overview where I basically give a class about the worksheet, kind of set the context. You can either watch this video or you can even download the audio. I mean, wait, where else does this shit exist? Then you also have your worksheets. You click here, the PDF, the worksheets that are here are located right here. You need a printer. If you don't have a printer and you want to order a workbook, you can do that also. And even one step more is there's a video step by step of me filling out the worksheet. Free. This is free. These courses alone probably should cost like $99 or something silly. There's that much value in these if you're willing to do it. Because this is lesson 1. You got lesson 2, right? Same rundown, right? Here's your video overview. You could download the audio. There's your worksheets. Here's the step-by-step video of me doing the worksheet just in case you still need extra hand holding, which is totally fine. There's lesson 3, lesson 4, right? And lesson 5. Lots of value in there. And then there's even an outro video. And if you wanted to order the workbook, right, there's a link here for it. You can order the workbook. You can order the workbook, which is a printed version of it, or you can just print out those worksheets. But I always encourage people to, if you start a course, finish it. That's the problem. So many people start and then you don't follow fucking through. You cheat yourself. You rob yourself. Because again, the worksheets look cute. They look like they are totally a throwback to the shit we did when we were like in elementary and junior high, right? Little work like vocabulary worksheets, you know, I did this totally based on that. Because I know how much people struggle with just prompts, right? Question and answers, which these have it, but it's broken down to bite-sized pieces. And at least it looks fun and interactive versus just a boring, like, I don't know. There's a lot of people that got some shit out there. It's just like, to me, I think it's just AI kind of based. You can tell that, you know, anybody can just say, hey, make me an AI book or some shit like that. And that ain't it. That's not what's going on here. There's a lot of heart and soul into these. One of my favorites is this worksheet, is the wagon worksheet. Right? This is day 3, right? Breaking up with my addictions. And then, you know, I'm releasing, right? Here's a bunch of old wood boxes. You're going to fill in some of the things that you're trying to release. How many times have you been on the wagon? By getting on the wagon, I'm choosing, right? You're releasing these things and you're choosing something else. There's even this little guy down here. It's kind of like a hidden feature. That little face down there. I think it says, how sneaky are you? How sneaky are you? Are you going to be someone that's going to truly like stick with it or not? But I enjoyed designing all these. And then you have to reflect, right? When did I first lose control? What does the wagon represent to me? What triggers your impulse towards your addiction? What triggered your most recent relapse? Will you lose friends and family? Who and why? These are real fucking questions. This is why it's called these courses. This is why these courses are called the first 5 self-discovery, because self-discovery is what happens when you are ready to give up your self-sabotaging ways. When you're ready to give up the self-sabotage, the first step after is self-discovery, because you need to figure out who the heck you are. And again, this was just me really being present enough with my experience to say, if I was before my rock bottom that happened 13 years ago, what would I need? What could help me? What could have helped me before hitting that rock bottom? That's what is being delivered here. So there's a lot. There's a lot to it. And the people, those of you, all of you that have taken advantage, nothing excites me more. Tomorrow's going to be like such an exciting day for me because I'm shipping out all kinds of good stuff tomorrow, all over the world. And I'm like so excited. I'm excited to go to the post office in the morning. So if you got something on order, it's going to ship tomorrow for sure. And I'm excited because you're going to get the receipt, stickers, just as an extra little bonus from me to you, just as a token of gratitude. And anybody that orders from here on out, those stickers are going to be in there. So there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in your mind and in your body. What do you have control over? Do you have control over the things going on in this world? Not really. I don't think at all. No matter how outraged you are, no matter how loud you get, no matter how many posts you post about how upset you are and how unjust things are, how terrible things are, right? But do you have control over what's going on in your mind? My answer to that is yes. That is actually all you have control over. And even though some of you have lost that control, it's time to take your power back. It's time to take your power back. The power over your mind. That is what is the key to your reality. When you take back power over your mind and you start to have a PMA, positive mental attitude, every day, all the way, knowing that these tools are readily available for you anytime, right? If you can start to become more aware with your mood shifts, just different times of the day bring about different feelings of how we feel about ourselves. And when you start to notice those patterns and see that, right, you can start using some of these tools, whether it's grounding, earthing, breathing, meditating, listening to positive affirmations, journaling. These are actually tools that work and are highly effective versus all the negative shit that is usually based in addiction, and it's escapism. It's saying I can't deal with myself. I don't know. I need to do this other thing. And it's just causing you a continuation of suffering. And if there's any part of you that's ready to kick that shit to the curb, jump on this movement. A growing number of people are really making that investment. I've had major revelations today. I ordered if you don't realize, I actually print out these workbooks myself. I bought a little binding machine and a nice printer. And it's I ordered a bunch of supplies, and today I looked and I'm like, oh shit, I'm already out of this stuff. Which is it's kind of mind blowing that I've actually shipped out that many workbooks, that many 1% better everyday journals. A lot of people have ordered the workbooks, which are the stuff associated with the first 5 courses online. I've shipped out a lot of those. The 1% better everyday journals catching fire. More and more people are really saying, I'm going to give this a shot. What the fuck do I got to lose? Right? Other than time. And you seem to be okay with that most of the time. Just losing your time, sacrificing your time, idly just watching things and cheering for things that have nothing to do with your personal experience on this planet. You talk about getting robbed of your energy and your potential. You sacrifice every time that you sit there for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Y'all got 3 hours to watch a professional something, whether it's a concert or a game. 3-4 hours and even more. Let's be honest. A lot of you, it's even more. On the weekends, I bet you some of you, if you really were honest with yourself, I bet you're in double digits in terms of hours. And y'all are saying you don't got 30 minutes for yourself every day? An hour? For a morning routine to really lock the fuck in and start building your dreams? Not wishing that your dreams would just manifest, but start building them one step, one day, 1% better. All it takes is commitment, consistency. You being committed, being consistent, showing up, staying locked in. Guaranteed results. Guaranteed results. It's guaranteed. You half-ass it, you get half-ass results. You go all in, you just lock the fuck in. Guess what? You're unstoppable. Whatever your dream is gonna happen. Everyone that I listen to, everyone that I look to for inspiration, they all say, man, if you're somebody that you have a vision, you have a dream, as long as you don't give the fuck up and you stay locked in, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. May not happen overnight. It may take 5 years. It may even take 10 years. Is that worth it to you? 10 years is going to come and go regardless for most of us. And you could either have 10 years of the same and usually worse situation than you're in right now, or you could literally start laying down the groundwork and the foundation of building your fucking dream. And it's like, this is what you're here for. When you don't put in that work, you are literally robbing yourself of your divine birthright, the thing that is made for you. It's ready for you. It's saying, here you go. But it's not going to just give it to you. You have to align yourself with it. And when I say align, I'm talking energetically. This is all about energy. You cannot align yourself with your divine birthright when you are negative, when you are filled with guilt and shame and doubt and anger and fear. That's not sexy. That doesn't attract your dream. When you are filled with courage, neutrality, willingness to persevere, love, joy, peace, light, that's sexy. You can just relax and it starts to show up. It starts to come to you. It starts to show up. It literally starts to show up in your life when you shift into that positive polarity versus the negative. And the way that you know that you're actually getting somewhere is right here, the receipts. And the only way you're going to have receipts is when you start documenting your life's journey every single day, documenting it. I've shown you 2 different methods. You can either, which way's better, right? This way. Look, this is a whole notebook. I got notebooks upon notebooks of just writing. This is if I'm over here trying to write a book as well, but it's like I got journals that is probably like 5 books worth of things every day. And yet it takes, the cool thing is that my hope for you is if this works for you, if you try it, the 1% Better Everyday Journal, if you actually try it, don't just discount it. Don't just say, I don't know. You actually try it. If it works for you, if you're like, you know what, I could get down with this. Just know that there's going to be 4 volumes in this series that gets you through a whole year. What are you going to do after the year? Well, there's going to be some other things that I offer. But ultimately, my goal is for you to then get to this place where you can create your own format, or you just keep, I'll probably do one where there's not all the phases and there's just like the worksheets. If you just like that style and you want to do that, the thing is if you're not journaling, whether it's with a notebook or in a 1% Better Everyday Journal or something else out there that you think is great, you're missing a major key to your success. I love that saying. They say note takers are money makers. There's something so powerful when you write things down. And yet in this digital age, right, we've just got fucking lazy. Just admit it. You're lazy. You're complacent. You're right, apathetic. You don't want to put out the effort. It's just a flat out lazy mindset. To where you're like, writing? Why would I want to write? Again, if you weren't lazy, you would research versus me just telling you how powerful writing is and why it is so beneficial. You would research it. You'd have a curiosity like, why is writing important? Let me look that up. I thought everything's digital nowadays. Can I just voice dictate my notes? And it's like, it's just not the same. It's not the same. There is something to be said about the pen being mightier than the sword. Because with that pen, right, you can write the most incredible story ever told about your life. You can write how the story ends. And when you start to craft that story and you really start to visualize that vision of your life that's inside of you, nothing is there to stop you other than you. You're the only force that can prevent that from becoming a reality. Let me just tell you that. If you are determined and have enough willpower and belief in yourself, nothing will stop you. Nothing. And that really gets to a why, right? Why? Why do it? And if you're mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically bankrupt and defeated, right? That's a good place to be quite honest with you. If you're in a really bad place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and even add financial to that, then guess what? There's usually only one direction to go, and it's up. And that's where I was 13 years ago. And I knew it was going to be a fucking climb. And once I even got to the top wasn't a mountain. The top was literally the ground floor, because I started on the plane and I kept jumping myself into a fucking chasm, a canyon, right? Just trying to fucking destroy myself, self-sabotage. And clearly there was a plan for my life beyond what I could fathom at that time, because I was so down on myself. I was so depressed. I was so lonely. I was so frustrated. Angry. Just mad as fuck, man. Pissed off at myself. And unfortunately, when you're mad at yourself, when you're hurting, the sad thing is that shit leaks out to the people that you genuinely love. And when you leak out onto them your pain, your wounds, that causes a lot of problems, and it hurts people that care about you. But there gets to be a place where you being emotionally dysregulated you have to either be with somebody that's just willing to tolerate that and has such low self-esteem about themselves that they're afraid to leave you, but they'll at least leave you emotionally. They may have to stay there physically out of their own fear. And I realized that for a lot of years, and that's why I come so direct and honest with this message, right? Because if I can spare anybody going through those rock bottom moments, right, what a gift to be a part of something like that. And I have helped some people like that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that you just need the hardest lessons. You're like me. You're just a stubborn son of a bitch, man, that just needs to fucking get your ass fucking handed to you. And then the sad thing is even when that happens, you're in crisis mode and looking for quick solutions. And then, the onset of whatever happened, it starts to dissipate. And then it gets like, your anxiousness and fear and, starts to calm down. Your nervous system starts to come back. And then you kind of give up. You're like, oh shit, okay, wait, it's fine now. It's fine. And it's like, no, it's not fucking fine. You didn't fix anything. You didn't do any work to heal, to deal with the emotions that created the problem, the pain, to release the inner pain inside of your soul that needs to be released. You didn't do any of that. And yet time just kind of numbed you out again. And now you think that somehow it's better. And it's like nothing fucking really changed. You got to be intentional when it comes to healing emotional trauma. And most of us on this planet have unhealed childhood trauma. And the process that I guide you through, whether it's the Breath of Life Healing Circle, the 1% Better Everyday Journals, the first 5 courses on the app, or The master class, which has not been released, but it exists, is the 12-week transformational F journal. 12 weeks, 7 days a week, lock the fuck in from self-discovery to self-mastery. That's coming up. 2026. We'll definitely be on that bandwagon. It'll be ready. I hope you will be ready. That's why I'm trying to inspire you to get on the 1% Better Everyday Journal, to start doing the groundwork, to really set yourself up for some massive success in the next. I mean, let's just be realistic. If you want massive success, you need to be thinking long range. You need to think past this week, this summer, this year. You have to really fucking lock in and say, you know what? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 5 fucking years. Let me see what happens if I really stayed locked in like this for 5 years. Oh shit. That's what brings about transformation. And especially because you have somebody at the helm of this that cut through all the fucking weeds, did the trailblazing of trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. How do we string together all these dots? How do we truly get there? And it doesn't have to be 13 years walking around in the wilderness trying everything that's out there. It's very specific. And every day I go, right, I'm still right here on this journey with you. I'm still figuring out deeper levels of myself. Yesterday I had an interaction where I was just like, I don't know, it left me feeling rejected, man. I was like, fuck, dude. And I fell back into an old pattern because I have those rejection wounds. And I thought, you always think you overcome this stuff, and then somebody shows up, and then something happens, and it's like I caught myself over explaining myself. Like if I wasn't being seen, I wasn't being heard. When I always say it, if someone wants to understand you, you don't have to say anything. But if you're somebody that has rejection wounds, abandonment wounds, like I did, a big part of my wounding would be trying to over explain myself. And it's like, when you're trying to explain yourself to somebody that doesn't want to understand you, there's nothing you can say that's going to change their mind. But someone that does want to understand you, and they do understand you, you don't even have to explain yourself. They just get you. They're like fucking totally supportive of what you're about, what you stand for. But when you catch yourself trying to explain yourself, like to convince somebody that whatever it is that you're needing to express, or needing, like you're feeling misunderstood, like I found myself in that yesterday. I was like, man, that was some good medicine. I needed that mirror. To realize, like, oh wow, this is a unique situation that I hadn't experienced that, and yet there I was. And not like a little needy kid, but it was just like I was over trying to convince somebody of something, and it's like, dude, like, stop, bro, stop. They don't want to understand what the fuck you're saying. They don't see it that way. They have their beliefs, and the best thing to do is to just drop it, wish them the best, and move the fuck on, man. That's it. So I see 11:11. I thank everybody for showing up tonight. all the fathers out there, I just want to preemptively, just let you know that it's actually all the men, right? We have Father's Day this weekend. All the men out there, because see, here's something that is new to me, but it's something I do resonate with. I have 2 children on this planet. One's 18 and one's 16. But guess what? I have a 3rd child that's equally as important. And that's the child within me. So if you're a man, and that's not to exempt any of the women there, right? I mean, they should just have like inner child. We should do an inner child day, inner child reparenting day. That would be pretty incredible, right? To bring awareness to inner child healing. So yeah, whether you're if you're a man or a woman, like men, happy Father's Day. If you're a man, that even if you don't have kids, just know you have an inner child inside of you, and it's time to get back in there with that kid. And a good way to do it is through the visualizations that I do. And the best place to be a part of that is the Breath of Life Healing Circle. And if you want to sign up for that, all you got to do is go to resultskillexcuses.com and click on the Breath of Life Healing Circle link on the top, and you can sign up. Here's the calendar for the rest of the summer. We meet this week, off next, again at the end of the month, and we got 3 times coming up in July and August each. So would love for you to be a part of that as well. There's a lot here. There's so much here. You can either sit back and just continue observing, or you can start interacting, taking action, putting in the work, and being a part of this, right? This is the most important part, is to be a part of the community, right? You're being given an opportunity to really be a part of something greater than yourself, but yet it has everything to do with you, right? You. But yet there's other people that are also trying to do themselves, figure out themselves, heal themselves, build their dreams. And we can do it together, right? Or we can try and struggle by ourselves. Get off the struggle bus. Get on the motherfucking results kill excuses 1% better every day train. Ooh, ooh. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.